Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that every single thought you had yesterday has shaped your reality today. What if the way you think is the only thing standing between you and the life you desire? This is the story of a man who learned the hard way that as you think, so you become. In a small town surrounded by mountains, there lived a man named Varun. Varun had once been full of dreams. He wanted to build a business, travel the world, and create a life of meaning. But over time, he had convinced himself that he wasn't capable. "I'm not smart enough," he would think. "I'm unlucky," he would mutter when things went wrong. "No matter what I do, I always fail," he'd say to himself before even trying. Day after day, these thoughts filled his mind like poison, seeping into his soul. And as if his thoughts had power, his life reflected them. His business ideas never took off, his relationships suffered, and his days felt like an endless cycle of failure. One evening, as Varun sat outside his small home, an old man passing through the town stopped beside him. He had a wise and gentle presence. "You look troubled," the old man said. Varun hesitated and said, "I just don't understand. No matter how hard I try, nothing in my life works out." The old man smiled knowingly and asked, "Tell me, what do you think about all day?" Varun hesitated but then admitted, "I think about how things never go my way, how I'm not good enough, how others are lucky, but I'm not." The old man nodded. "Ah, that explains it." "Explains what?" Varun asked, confused. "You are simply becoming your thoughts." Varun frowned. "That doesn't make sense. How can my thoughts control my life?" The old man picked up a small seed from the ground. "What happens if I plant an apple seed?" Varun shrugged. "It grows into an apple tree, and if I plant a thorn bush seed, well, you get thorns." The old man smiled. "Exactly. Your mind is the soil. Your thoughts are the seeds. Whatever you plant repeatedly will grow. You've been planting the seeds of doubt, failure, and limitation. So that is what has grown in your life." Varun was silent for a long time. He had never considered that his own thoughts might be the cause of his struggles. Seeing his deep thought, the old man placed a hand on Varun's shoulder. "Start planting different seeds. Think differently. See what happens." And with that, the old man walked away, leaving Varun with a mind full of questions. That night, Varun couldn't sleep. For years, he had fed his mind with negativity. What if he tried something different? The next morning, instead of saying, "I can't," he whispered, "I can learn." Instead of "I'm unlucky," he told himself, "I create my own luck." Instead of "I always fail," he thought, "Every setback is a lesson." At first, it felt forced, even silly. But he kept at it. A week passed. Then a month. Slowly, Varun began to change. He started working on a business idea again, but this time, he didn't quit when things got tough. He saw failures as lessons instead of proof of his incompetence. He spoke to people with confidence instead of shying away in self-doubt. His relationships improved because he no longer saw himself as unworthy of love and respect. A year later, Varun was a different man. He wasn't just pretending to be confident, capable, and lucky. He was those things now. And it all started with a simple truth. As you think, so you become. Now the moral of the story: your thoughts shape your reality. If you constantly think of yourself as incapable, unlucky, or doomed to fail, your life will reflect that. But if you train your mind to think in terms of growth, possibility, and resilience, you will see real change. Start today. Be mindful of the thoughts you plant, because they will grow into the reality you live in. Now, let me ask you, what kind of seeds are you planting in your mind?